What's going on, fellas? Welcome to day 2 of Inspiration with the Light Skin, starring yours truly, the Light Skin God. I pray and hope that you all have had a great day, that it was meant to be everything it was meant to be. Me personally, I'll be honest, today kind of sucked. My mental health is kind of deteriorating a little bit, but I have a commitment here, and I'm here to give you all inspiration and hopefully inspire myself. And with that being said, I chose the chapter I did, more importantly, simply because I believe it'll benefit you all. We're going to be working in Job today. For those of you who don't know Job, well, you're going to know him pretty well after this. Job was one of God's most loyal servants, but boy, oh boy, did Job suffer a lot. Job pretty much had his back against the wall and literally had everything stripped away from him, had nothing left to give. But either way you look at it, Job still stayed loyal to God. And so we're going to focus on that today. We're going to be in Job 1, verse 8. We're going to start there and work our way through. So Job 1, verse 8 says, "Then the Lord asked Satan, 'Have you noticed my servant Job? He is the finest man on all the earth. He is blameless, a man of complete integrity. He fears God and stays away from evil.'" God knows for a fact that Job won't turn on him, and he'll stay loyal to him till the end. And so Satan replies to this and says, "Yes, but Job has good reason to fear God. You have always put a wall of protection around him and his home and his property. You have made him prosper in everything he does." So God is basically being tested by Satan here. Satan at this point in time is still an angel. He hasn't been cast out of heaven just yet. But God is surely tested by Satan. Satan is testing God's sovereignty, basically saying, your servants, your loyal followers, they only pray to you and worship you because you continue to bless them and help them. You uplift them on a daily basis and provide them with wealth and everything they may need, and this is why they worship you. But what if you were to take those things away, basically? So God says to Satan, do whatever you want with everything he possesses, but do not harm him physically. God is talking about Job. So throughout the chapter, you'll see that they stole all of Job's animals and killed all his farm hands. They set a fire and burned up all his sheep and all his shepherds. They went as far as to steal all his camels and killed all his servants by hand. And most definitely, this would definitely put anyone to the test. They set a powerful wind and hit his house on all sides, collapsing it and killing all of his children. And to this, any man, I think, would simply fall to his knees and begin to blame God. But I think that's the problem with us as Christians, or even men in general. We at first begin to blame God instead of questioning, why are these things happening to me and what can I do to better myself in this tragic or not such of a good situation. So to this, Job responds by shaving his head, getting on his knees, and simply worshiping God and praising him. And you may question, why did he praise God throughout all of this? Well, Job is a faithful man to the Lord, and he knows that no matter what he goes through, that as long as he stays faithful to God, that everything will be okay. And I think that's a great message to all of us as we go through our day-to-day lives, especially being in college, that no matter what you go through, it's about how you get back up and how you move on to the next day. Don't worry so much about what's today and the suffering that you face. Instead, worry about tomorrow and how good of a day you can make it, just simply by your attitude and how you get up in the morning. And so Job, in general, the chapter itself is such a great chapter to me, because me suffering from mental health and the things I suffer from, my dad introduced me to it. He always told me, you think you're suffering, you think your life is bad? Well, look at Job. So let this just be a friendly reminder to you that if Job can outlast all of this, then why can't you? And my number one message to all of you is, there's a reason that the teacher is quiet during the test. And what that means is, during this, people may have questioned, well, why didn't God intrude? Why didn't he step in and intervene? Well, that's not God's duty. God is an ever-loving and amazing God, and he'll love you till the end and be there by your side no matter what, but he's never going to intervene. That's what your free will is. He gives you that free will to decide how you're going to act upon and make your decisions. And Job decided to continue to praise God, and we'll see in the future, in further videos to come, that Job stayed loyal to him, and as a result, he was truly blessed by God. But going back to the teacher is always quiet during the test. When you're taking a test at school, the teacher doesn't speak. Instead, he just watches and he listens. And that's what God does. When you're tested by the devil or tested by certain individuals, God just watches and listens. And if you're truly a servant of God, you'll respond accordingly through your faith. And you'll respond how God intends you to, and that's by praising him. And instead of looking down on God and saying, why has this happened to me? Saying, God, I know time is hard right now and I'm suffering, but I'm going to look up to you and I'm going to trust in you in your process. And the rest is history. It just becomes a part of your testimony. And gentlemen, I pray for you all, and despite no matter what we're going through, just know that it's all in God's hands. I love you all. With that being said, light skin out.